For thousands of years, the Jewish people lived in exile from their biblical homeland and suffered brutal oppression, often at the hands of Christians. This created an atmosphere of animosity and distrust between these members of two great faiths that has existed into modern times, until recently. For over 30 years, the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews has been building bridges around the world to serve Israel and her people. The fellowship has garnered over 1 million supporters, and together this network of bridge builders provides aid to over 1.4 million people every year, helping children, families, and Holocaust survivors with their basic needs, as well as alleviating poverty, providing protection against terrorism, fighting religious persecution, and helping Jewish people move to their homeland, Israel. Today, the fellowship is the single largest provider of humanitarian aid in Israel, but it hasn't always been this way. Its beginning in 1983 was small and forged through the vision, hard work, and perseverance of one man, Rabbi Yechiel Eckstein. Yechiel's family comes from humble beginnings and lived in Israel for many generations.
My father was born in Israel, at the time Palestine, and they were very poor during his childhood, and he remembers his biggest treat was a piece of bread dipped in sardine oil. And that was like a real treat for him. So when he was 9 years old, my grandparents moved to America from Palestine. And actually, my father was 8 generations born in Jerusalem. So it goes back very far, and I was the first one who broke that chain by being born outside of Jerusalem for many generations. I was born in a small town called Winthrop, Massachusetts, out of Boston. And so I became an American citizen. And then my father became the chief rabbi of Canada in Ottawa. So they moved when I was a half a year old, and I grew up in Ottawa together with my siblings. We're all 3 years apart. My older sister's named Ahuva, my younger sister Rachelea, and my younger brother is Beryl. It's common in Jewish circles to name your children after a deceased family member. So we're each named, I'm named Yechiel after my great-grandfather. It was a very formal country and formal upbringing, but one filled with love and filled with values that have kept me going and that I have hopefully instilled in my children.
At age 13, after his bar mitzvah, Yechiel returned to America and attended Yeshiva University High School in Manhattan. As a young man on his own for the first time, this proved challenging.
I felt frightened in New York and bullied by a lot of the kids in the dormitory and in the school who didn't come from the kind of refined hometown, small town environment that I came from, who were in the real world. So it opened up my eyes to the real world. It was not a particularly pleasant period in my life.
During his time at Yeshiva University High School, Yechiel pressed on and found solace in basketball and music. God was teaching Yechiel perseverance and to trust in him. Yechiel would lean on these fundamental lessons years later when he started the fellowship.
There were many challenges and difficulties and attacks that I faced trying to sway me off the path. I always felt strongly that this was the right thing to do